Hey everyone, Jacqueline here. I'm going to be going through my C# 1 programming class I'm taking this semester assignment. It's an interactive simulation game using C# and Visual Studio Designer. Yeah, alright. So let's get started. First I'm going to show you my application, how it works. I am making a clone of this game, Dungeons and Deadlines. I'm just trying to obtain exactly what they did for the most part, just so I can practice my C# skills and get the assignment done. So I'm just kind of reverse engineering this game. So if you want to check it out, you can go to dungeonsanddeadlines.com. Miles, I think his last name is Matrix. He created this game, and it is an online game that you can play directly in browser. So I'm just kind of aiming for this type of experience. So with all that, I will show you my application. So here we go. It pops up in the window. I'm just going to pull it up like this. You can see Welcome to Elysium, survive your mission. And here I have several buttons. So the credits button doesn't currently work. I'm going to be putting the credit for Dungeons and Deadlines in there. My game works slightly different, but that is my inspiration. I'm just trying to achieve what he did for the most part. And then also any art assets will be in there, but that doesn't currently work. And then you can quit the game, which just straight up quits the application. Or you, conversely, we can just start the mission. So it says, welcome aboard the Elysium Station. Please enter your surname. So that is your last name, so I'm just going to put in mine. Okay, hit continue. It's like flipping out. And then you can choose if you want to identify as female, male, or neither. Hitting female will give you a miss tag here. Hitting male will say Mr. and then neither. It will just totally opt out this, not do this at all, and it'll just say hello Hyman. So this is where you get to choose if you want to do the tutorial or just jump right into the gameplay. So all I've gotten done so far really is the tutorial. So this is your home, this is your life now, your mission starts now. So your goal is to survive to the end of your mission without going crazy, and you're going to get assigned a task every day that you will do aboard the Elysium. And this is kind of how it will look. This is similar to how it looked in Dungeons and Deadlines. So, and then also you get to choose between two actions for every task you have, which is your work and your life. So work is going to increase your reputation aboard the Elysium, and probably also your stress, and life is where your reputation may go down, but your happiness and health may go up, or your stress will go down. So it really just depends on the action, the random event that you get when you choose that action. So then this is the second part of the tutorial. It talks to you about like your stats bar. So we have reputation, health, and stress. I totally cut out family. Dungeons and Deadlines include family, but since you're aboard a space station, I didn't include that. Alright, and then so just at the beginning of every day, you're able to choose if you want to come in early, late, or on time. So I talk about that a little bit. If your stress level is 8 or above, at the end of the day, you start losing health. If you lose health all the way to 0, you die. If you stress all the way to 0, then you die. So possibly have a heart attack. This, if you just lose health, you just die. But if you hit reputation 0, you get fired from Elysium and you're immediately jettisoned from the space station, I guess. So your goal is to just not have that occur. You're going to be on the space station for a month, so hit next. And that's the end of the tutorial. At this point, it would jump into the game. So like if you check out Dungeons and Deadlines, his is really cool. So if you start new, he has like this Jaime, so I'll just do age. I'm going to say neither. Not really for sure. So then it gives you this kind of tutorial, like I wanted to kind of go for the similar feel, and then he has, so you'll see his stuff. So this is kind of what I'm going for. I'm still working on the gameplay bit, but I did want to turn in what I had so far. So I'm going to go into the code and kind of show how I made it work. Alright, so since we're using this like form designer thing, you can just drag and drop all of this stuff from the toolbox into here. I have so many boxes in here. I think I'm going to go through and try to take out as many as I can and kind of repurpose buttons and stuff. That might make, so it's like a mess out here, and I feel like if I do it the other way, it's going to be a mess in the code. But I guess it's the lesser of two evils. So we've got that. So these are, I have all my buttons, I've got pictures, I've got labels, that's pretty much all I have out here. And then this form here, form1.cs, this is where all of the events are occurring for when you click on things. So you'll have like, these are my voids. Okay, so here we have like the start game, so this is what happens when you click start game or start mission. So it, you know, hides the title, hides all of the other buttons, and then changes the text in the tagline because I didn't want to create a new text. I could probably do that though. And then just show the name and the button. So I actually create a helper function here that just shows and hides all the buttons. So you can just call which one, and I don't have to write this like 80 million times. I can just call it the once, and it will hide and show all of them. Because I will never need any of these individually. I just need it the one time too. It's not even. Okay, this is where the credits will be. So this is going to be all the logic for what happens when you press the credits button. This is the quick game, so I'm just exiting the application. And then this is the logic for when you are typing your name in by clicking the button. So if your name, so the player name.txt, that's the empty label that's on the screen when you start. If it doesn't have anything in it, it's just going to do an uppercase letter, and if it does, it's going to do a lowercase letter. And this only works when you click on the buttons with your mouse. So they can only do the letters that are on the keyboard. And then I have one of these for every single letter and every button on the keyboard. The only ones that are different are going to be the delete and the continue key. So the delete key just removes the last letter in the string, and then kind of shows the new name. So that's how you get that delete thing. And then let's close that. And then I have the continue button, and this just continues. So this will bring you to like that gender page where you can tell the player, or tell the game if you want to be female, male, or neither. And then if you choose, when you choose those things here, it will set, oh here we go. When you choose it, it sets the name that was inside of the label for the player name, and then so that sets it here. We just have a string for the player name inside of the player class. And then it also, right here, when we click there, female, male, neither, it will set the pronoun for the player, so it just has like a string. So that way it will know whether to call the player Miss, Mr., or just nothing. So you see here for neither, it's just like an empty. Okay, and then I also have this function that I created myself that is asking about the tutorial. So this is going to set up everything for whether or not we want to do the tutorial. So this just opens up the, changes the text inside of this tag, like this label, to ask player if they want to do the tutorial. And then it also shows the buttons, so you can make a decision. And then somewhere down here, you can click on the decision, like to do the tutorial, because the other one doesn't currently do anything yet. Okay, so tutorial click. So here, if you click to do the tutorial, it's going to hide the two buttons that are asking you about the tutorial. It's going to change the title text to say this, that you see on the first page of the title. Then we're going to show it so that the player can see it. And then in here we're doing just setting all of the text for the tutorial, as well as showing like the console. That's what I call it. It says the blue and white background that, like, for the example, let's see, for the example, oh, it's going to flip out. Here, so this blue and white box, that's what that is. And then that it gives you more information, and then when you click next, I have like a switch in here so we can reuse this button. And what this is I just have like a page declared at the top. It's just an integer, and then when we start, it's set to 0, so when you click it the first time, it's going to increase it to 1. So next time you click it, it'll do something different. So here I'm just updating, going to the next page of the tutorial, letting them know about that. I actually moved the tutorial text 1 up a bit to the Y position of 332, so I'm moving that there. And then also I am and then once you click it again, I actually deleted a line of code out of here, because this is where we were going to start the game. So this just hides everything, increases the page number, and then I'm going to be calling a function inside. So we're starting the game, and then we're calling a function inside our game script, and that's going to this is where all my game logic is going to be. So keeping track of which day we're on, showing the different events, choosing random events. So like here we have our day events. I'm going to be creating like a class for that. So each event will have like a like kind of like a structure, a recipe. I say structure, but I don't mean like actual like structure. So it's going to have like a little, like, this is what a day should have, and then I can create multiples of these, new instances of them, and populate a list, and then we can choose what happens at random. And then depending on its index in that list is going to be what day number it is. So that way we can have some cool and interesting things happening, feel kind of random. It'll make each day feel a little different from each other. Their different playthroughs feel different, but in general, I don't want to go too overboard with that, so I'm probably going to make 3 or 4 different events that can occur in the day. And then what did I do? It's like all green underlined now. So that's going to be what this is. And then back in the player script, I'll show off that. So this is where kind of like our player stats are. I have some functions here that return these integers here. I could actually probably just do it on here instead of creating them down here like that, like the get set thing. Make them, but this is where, so later we need to know these things. So in my form, I think I'm getting them right here, yeah. So I'm just getting what our current ones are equal to, so that way we can show it in our stats bar. And that's what that is for. This script in general is just going to be the player stats, anything that they would have like in their inventory if they have one. Haven't really determined that yet. This is where all that will take place. I'm going to create some functions in here that will manipulate the player stats. So put that in there. So that will do like add reputation or add health or decrease. So we'll have those in here as well. So that is pretty much everything. You can see it's not really done, but I wanted to just turn in what I have. That way I can at least get get my grade, and then I'm going to be finishing this up in the next couple of days. So, alrighty, so that's it. So thank you so much for watching. I guess come back to check out the final project, and if you like this video, just click like and subscribe below. Thank you.